I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been having a hard time getting yeast at the store. How about you? So today what I thought I would make is because we've run out of bread ourselves. So I thought maybe we'd make some flatbreads. This is a recipe that I learned while I was in Mexico a few years back with short-term mission. It only requires 4 ingredients, but that's because I modified it. Okay, come on over and I'll show you what's in it. 3 cups of flour, 2 cups of freshly boiled water, 1 teaspoon salt, and 1 tablespoon olive oil. I'm going to mix the flour first, the salt, and the 1 tablespoon of oil. Now, we're using a dough hook for this. And I just slowly pour the hot water in because I don't need the whole 2 cups of hot water. Turn this on to mix first. Look, it's sticking. It should clean the side of the bowl. You can go to medium speed. I have a bit of flour here that I will mix if I need to, just on the side. There you go. It doesn't take very long. I probably used about 1.5 cup of boiled water. Now I'm going to just check to see how it's going. Nice. So I'm just going to let it knead for another minute and then it'll be ready to rest for 15. As you can see, I didn't have to use the whole 2 cups of water. And it's come out really nice. It's not too sticky that it's on my hand, but it's soft. And it's also cleaned out the bowl, so that's what I wanted. Now, I have to let it rest for 15 minutes using the bowl that I used to measure the flour. We'll just let it sit. It's been 15 minutes. It's nice and soft, so it's easy to work with. So I'm just going to divide it, so it's easier to work with. This will probably make about 12 flatbreads. And the ones that I'm not going to use, I'll just keep covered out of the way. And then we'll work on this. My pan is already nice and hot and ready. So I can probably get maybe 3 out of this, golf ball sizes. Okay, and I keep a jar of dusting flour that I use for all purposes, whether I'm baking bread or making tortillas, whatever. I'll just have that handy in my cupboard so I don't keep wasting flour. So I just keep flipping back and forth, making sure that it's not too dusty with flour. Some of you might be a lot adept to this, making tortillas, and some are not. Some of us will make them long or out of form, but I think this is nice and big enough, I think, to make individual sizes. It's nice and thin, and my pan is ready. So I just let it sit in there for maybe half a minute, and then you'll be able to tell because the colors in there will change and it doesn't stick. I didn't put any oil, but it's nice and hot. Not too hot, it's at about 3, medium low. You can see the color changing. You can also use the same recipe to make onion pancakes, or you can use it to make like a flatbread pizza. You can do all sorts of things just making this kind of flatbread. And like I said, I ran out of bread, So it's so easy to make. It doesn't take 3 hours like a bread does. So this morning I found some bread making yeast that was expired maybe 2017. So I'm going to try it out to see if that one works. I'll let you know how it goes. You can tell it hasn't turned brown yet, but it should brown. And then that way it'll be ready to flip over. I know when Ruth does her chapatis, and you can also use the same recipe to make chapatis, but they use an Indian flour called atta, which I guess is whole wheat flour. And it has different texture to it and flavor. Okay, you can see the bubbles forming. Okay, so I'm just going to do Ruth's turn of the wrist, and she kind of just twists around so it doesn't get sticky, I guess, but it shouldn't get sticky at all. It's quite dry, so you wouldn't have that problem. So I have had this iron skillet for a long time, and I've used it for so many things, making pancakes, frying my eggs, and it's very useful for making the flatbreads. So right now it's just been maybe half a minute, and you can see it turning color, and by pressing the sides the air pockets will rise. You can see, just to steam the middle, and that should be ready. There you go. You're ready to make your chicken fajitas, your beef tacos, or you can make a mini pizza with it. And Kay likes to make quesadilla, and she will just put her cheese in there and flip it in half.